I don't see nobody else in the room. You must be talking to me.
Let me tell you something.
All right. Second half of the Dudes Like Us podcast. Check us out on Dudes Like Us podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Check us out on Dudes Like Us Woodcraft at Instagram and Facebook. We do some woodcrafting stuff. You guys are interested? Buy some of our Dudes Like Us swag. It's available for you. We got all kinds of fun stuff, all kinds of weird stuff. And Jeff is basically our woodcrafter.
He is our woodcrafter.
I need to make you your cards.
Yep, thank you.
I need to get started on that.
Yeah, we need to make one for Larry as well. Larry, did we make one for you yet?
A card?
Oh, we guess we didn't. Shh, that's a surprise.
You did give me a refrigerator magnet, which
that doesn't matter. This is nothing.
I'm very proud of it.
Well, you got a couple more.
Do you have it displayed? Proudly.
I do. I sure do. You goddamn right I do.
You got it in your refrigerator?
I have it on my gun case. My gun cabinet.
Safe, yeah. You know, it's I've showed up at people's houses for like some Christmas parties a couple times last year. Dude, I bring like 3 or 4 in my pocket, and I'll like stick one on their refrigerator at their house.
Just kind of covertly.
It's like, yeah, you doing? Here's a little refrigerator magnet. Dudes like us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Larry the guest.
November 6, 2024. I'm excited, man. We got Halloween behind us.
We do.
We had a great Halloween party. I don't know if we even talked about that, did we?
We did last time, yeah.
All right, very good. We got a Halloween party. We got Thanksgiving coming around the corner.
It is. It's getting close.
Oh, dude, the older we get, it's like bam, 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 bam. These weeks just keep flying by.
Did you get your butterball for 99 cents a pound?
I did not. I wasn't. Did
you have a text going with a bunch of guys and they were all excited?
They were
buying like 2, 3, and 4 turkeys.
They were thinking like butterball was code for something.
No. So, yes, I had a group text, and somebody saw the 99 cents per pound butterball, and there was a mound of them, right? It wasn't like there were 2 left, like briskets, right?
Right.
And, they were like, oh, my God, yeah, get me one. I want one, too.
So I don't know about those dudes like us listeners out there, but some of us, our group at least, anytime we see a sale at Kroger, Tom Thumb, whatever it is,
usually briskets and pork
butts,
ribs,
chicken, anything that's kind of like out of the ordinary. We kind of like, oh man, we need to get it now. It's kind of like our bourbons, we get those on special, and we're like, oh my God, this is on special. Then we get the little text message from Total Wine from Stan, Kevin, Tom. Actually, who else is out there?
John and Tom, but I don't get text from them. John's the very cool dude, older dude.
He has a drink station there right there.
Oh yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, I was handing him a keychain. He was like, "Oh, I've already got one," and he whips out his keychain. He's like, "See what I got?"
But you know what? I tell you what, I finally came clean.
Gross.
With my wife about something. Like every time we come home from Total Wine, I have like an extra bottle of something, right?
Oh.
And she's like, why'd you buy that bourbon cream? Why'd you buy that coffee liqueur? Why did you buy that whatever, right? And I'm like, I finally said to her, listen,
because I'm an alcoholic, that's why.
I like it with ice cream, bitch.
No, very good guess though. No, it's because we go in there and we always have samples over and over from these guys, and we've gotten to know them, and they make their money on commission, and we never buy anything from these guys. I mean, Sean, you're actually great.
Yeah, well,
you do. You buy stuff. Anyway, but I was telling Shelly,
but it sits there, dude. I can't get rid of this shit.
Well, I know, but so I told Shelly, I was like, listen, he makes all these drinks. We chat up like all this time, and I never buy anything. So I was like, they're
like $10.
I needed to buy. Expensive. So yeah, but I bought pumpkin spice cream. I bought bourbon cream, and I bought there was another cream. Yeah, it was Wolcott's. Anyway, it was good.
For those dudes like us listeners that don't know what we're talking about, maybe Larry included in this. On Fridays, we traditionally will get together as early as we can, and we will go hit Total Wine for our weekly venture to go procure whatever they've got, some sort of whiskey, bourbon.
Or hopefully unicorns. Right?
Yeah, we're hoping unicorns. And we usually jump at Liquor King first. We geographically, we look at a map. We go to Liquor King first, then we head a little bit further west, and we hit Total Wine, and then we get... We sample a lot of fantastic things over there to make sure that we want to purchase them, and we decide, I've already got to buy that.
We bought some at Liquor King.
Most of the time, we're like, yeah, that's really good, but I'm not going to buy any of that. Yep. All the time, I'm doing that. But I told my wife that's why I came over, and she was like, Oh, okay. So you're supporting those guys. I was like, yes, I am.
We've had some pretty shitty samples too there though.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't
some
matter.
stuff there that's
But you got to
nasty.
try them out. And it's kind of, you don't know if they're shitty
Well,
until
true.
you try them.
That's correct.
But by the time we walk away from this event, I mean, I can visualize like a Warner Brothers cartoon. You ever get like the Daffy Duck and the not Daffy Duck, but what is it? It is Daffy Duck. You know, in the 25th century, and he's like on a little swing. He's like, boom, hits the wall. Daffy Duck in the 25th century. Whap back, hits another wall. You know, that's the way we are doing the samples because we're kind of like we hop from store to store, and the last store is Specs, right?
Yeah,
by that time we're fucking lit.
Yeah, we're stumbling. We're stumbling into Specs. And those people are like,
pissing in the parking lot.
And those
Here
people
they
are like,
go.
no, we're not all pissing in the parking lot.
Well, you.
That'd just be you.
No.
That
The
would
guy's
just be
I did
you.
it once. Don't label me.
He did it on
Gotta
the
go.
truck.
You gotta go. What are you gonna do?
At least I wasn't shitting on the side of the road.
Ooh.
That was in Colorado when they shut the freeway
Did
down.
it happen?
Yes. It did. We've told that story a million times.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would imagine.
you like that? He would have just negates it. I don't know. It never happen.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, as we stumble into Specs, I'm sure those people are like, oh, God, here we go. It's those dudes like
man,
us.
I don't know.
Well, I know you guys are big bourbon guys, which is fantastic. And whenever I've been as a guest to your podcast and around you guys, you've always had bourbon neat.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that what you typically do? I mean, or do you ever make mixed drink? Not Manhattan.
On the podcast, it's always
old
neat.
fashions, or
Yeah, on the podcast, it's always neat. I'll make an old fashioned for myself. Sometimes I'll have it on a cube if I'm just sitting downstairs.
Absolutely.
But on the podcast, it's always neat.
You ever heard of a drink called a horse neck?
Horse neck?
Horse neck. I was watching an old movie on Turner Classic Movies some time ago. You know, one of the old black and whites from the 40s or something. And in the movie, a guy goes into the bar and he goes, "Hey, let me have a horse neck." And I thought he was joking. The guy's like, "All right, hey,
I don't think that's what it is, Sean.
The voice is great.
And I looked it up, and it's a thing. A horse neck is a real drink. It's basically an old fashioned made with ginger ale.
Oh.
And I've looked up the recipe online
instead
and I made
of simple syrup.
Yes. And I've made it, and it's very good. It's
I would
really good.
imagine.
That's exactly what it is. It says a horse neck cocktail
horse
that's
neck.
made with ginger ale, bitters, and a long lemon peel
Yeah,
that's wrapped
it.
around the inside of the glass.
A horse neck.
So maybe next time I go to Applebee's, I'll say I'll have a horse neck.
Yeah.
See if they know how to make that.
Well, it's funny you say that, Jeff, because I've tried that at different bars.
Doesn't work.
Even like, kind of nice, sophisticated bars, and I'll tell the bartender, let me have a horse neck. And it looks like I've got two.
That boy's lost his mind.
Like I've got two heads.
horse neck.
And I I say, yeah, it's
Well,
a
it
thing.
is odd.
It's a thing. And they look it up on their phone. They go, I'll be goddamn, it is a thing.
Well,
So they'll make it.
If Jeff
Yeah, but it's
asked,
made out of brandy.
if Jeff asked for it, they'd be like, "Sir, you need to leave."
Well, you know what? Like Paul will drink. Well, first of all, I'll let you say what you drink. I like drinking mine neat, even at home. I will sip on it. If I mix it with anything, it'll be like a club soda and maybe a splash of water. I don't like to put ice in it. I don't like diluting it. Period. I like to drink it just the way it is, and a lot of times I drink it just the way it is in the podcast. I'll have a sip of that, and I'll drink a beer, and my bourbon will last an hour.
You're a man's man, Sean Murphy.
You know what? I'll tell you the number one reason is because it's not that first of all, I enjoy it. All right. But
Okay.
I also really enjoy the old fashions, the Manhattans.
Sure.
The bourbon and cokes, the bourbon and sprites.
Oh yeah.
The horse neck, I will enjoy the shit out of all those. The problem is
You
way
drink,
too much sugar for me.
you drink 25 of them.
Oh yeah, and then you would drink fucking so many of them. Because
Right.
with our palate, it's just like it's not strong. It's like drinking tea. It's like wham bam, wham bam, wham bam. It's like drinking a soft drink. So when you can pour yourself a little 5-ounce drink, that 5-ounce drink you can't sip. I mean, I
True.
can't.
That's
It's
true.
very difficult. So
Right.
I know I can sip this, and I can control it because I find I get shit faced if I start mixing drinks. Like I
Right.
can't go to your house and drink what you drink, otherwise I'll be
Yeah.
safety doming it all night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, the sugar is what gets me. I really can't drink
Or you'll be safety doming it.
Jack and Coke.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we used to go to D.D.G's and we'd get Jack and Cokes, and we'd have 5 or 6 of them. I'd feel like shit before I left the bar.
Right.
Well,
the amount of sugar.
let's be fair. When we first started going to D.O.G.E's in downtown Frisco, they had a bartender there that was
Loading it up.
Oh, yes, he
dude,
would.
we had one Jack and Coke, and I was like, we got to go home now.
Strong pours.
Maybe not one, but it was by the end of the second one, I was like, holy shit, this guy's insane. Because we would be like, because I, most of the drinkers out there, I'll take a single tall.
And you'd be like a triple tall.
It would be insane. I don't know how much he poured in there, and we tipped the shit out of him. But then they changed. The management's always been the same. He left, but then they changed the dynamic. The owner / general manager, he was kind of like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to drink anymore. But whatever. It happens all the time. These guys that work bars that are managing it, it's so easy for them to drink. They get stuck in a habit. And good for him. He broke the trend and he stopped drinking. And when he stopped drinking, he started really grinding down on those numbers and learned that his bar can make a lot of money. And we started going back to it, and we're like, fuck that. Buffalo Trace, you want $20 a drink?
Right.
Here?
Right.
No, I'm out. So it was, I would spend $10. I think $10 is too much, but no. So we stopped going there. And I actually really enjoyed going to D.O.G.E's.
Yeah.
They had live entertainment sometimes. They had a little acoustical band out there on the patio.
Yeah.
This time of year, it's fucking wonderful out there.
Nice little bar out inside.
It's a cool little place.
Yeah, it's nice.
Agreed.
And the food is great.
Yeah, really good food.
And it's unfortunate. But, I don't want to steer people away from that, because if you want a good time, take your family, because it's family friendly during the family friendly hours, and then at nighttime, it's kind of gets off the hook.
I mean, the reality is a $10 drink is probably normal. Like if you find an $8 drink, that's pretty good. You find a $4 happy hour drink or a $6 happy hour drink,
it's all syrup.
That's good shit, right?
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate thing. I mean, but if you go to the Star, you're talking $15, $16 drinks.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, they're all trying to make their money, I guess, pay for that lease, right? For that rent space.
It's expensive. And our kids go there. I'm like, how do you afford to go there?
Yeah, they go to Sidecar. They get freaking
They'll
blown
pay
up.
rent.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. But going back to what I drink. So I've got three scenarios. When it's with the guys, we're drinking neat. We're drinking neat bourbons that we pull out, that single barrels that maybe we haven't had in a while.
Yeah, like if they come over to my house, it's like it's a sample. Hey, let's try this, and we'll go over to Paul's house the same way.
Yeah, we bring out the good stuff.
We don't come over to Jeff's house, and this may be by design, because we'll come up here, we'll be like,
I want all of them.
Because it's not fair. I mean, it's not fair for Paul and Jeff to come over here and dip into this. It's not fair for Jeff to do it, even though if you did, I wouldn't care.
I don't drink any of it.
Whatever, but I'm just saying, if we were to come over here, we get, I don't know. Maybe we should.
Maybe we clear some of that shit out in there.
We probably
there's a lot,
should.
because I was diving in some of that stuff during the halftime. We got Gentleman Jack in there, 80 proof. I mean, we need to have that on the shelf. Effectively, maybe we ought to leave that in there.
That's good stuff, man. Gentleman Jack.
So how many bottles do you have? And for the listeners, what we're talking about is these guys get 2 bottles of bourbon for each show to taste test, right? And
right.
One for the first half, one for the second half.
You comment about it on the show here,
right?
Well, that leaves like a half a bottle of bourbon still. So you have these bottles stored in this shelf in your house. I would say there's 50.
No, it was over 200.
Yeah, there's
that much.
Yes,
there's probably about 175, because we've cleared a few out and we've slowed down the purchasing. Because we're getting a little more picky on what we buy.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably about 175 out there now.
So there was a period.
175 half full bottles of bourbon.
Yeah. Well, probably more. But the process was, we were buying a bottle each every week. So we were buying $20, $30, $40 bottles. Sometimes 50. Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Big
and then
$50.
Yeah. Well, hell, Jeff would buy a $50 bottle. Paul would buy 40, and I'd buy 20. I mean, and they're like, "You son of a bitch! What the fuck's going on here?" So it's just kind of like, all right. And then every week we started figuring out. All right, well, look, it got to the point where we started upping it up. I want to get that, but it's too fucking expensive. All right, well, let's go 3 ways on it. Okay, we're like, okay, well, that just boom, blew up our minds. Now we were able to afford the $80 ones, $100 ones, $150 ones, $200 ones.
Save money.
It saved money, actually, yeah.
So, I mean, it worked out great, and we get a wider selection. Like, we've got a Garrison Brothers out there, which I would never tell people to drink. However, my latest experiences,
Damn.
hey, I've turned a corner with Garrison.
That's good shit.
It's great.
outstanding.
We got the
Really
Cowboy that
good.
was just released, the Hazmat from Garrison Brothers. We haven't had it yet. It's out there. We're waiting for a special moment to crack it during the podcast. It may be coming up on either the new year or prior to the new year.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
What's the most expensive one that you've bought?
The Cowboy.
That one.
Yeah,
You're going to choke when you tell you how much that bottle is.
how much was it?
Tell me.
It was $260.
Wow.
One bottle, a
$280 with tax.
750 milliliter bottle for $260.
Mm.
That's hard to stomach. But
I don't even think that was before tax, I think.
That was before tax.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'm okay with that. I really am. Because when you split it 3 ways and you use it in which we do use it, we sample it, we grade it, we rate it, and we let people know what it tastes like. I'm excited. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy it. We'll enjoy it multiple times.
yeah. It's also our cologne
Right.
and a mouthwash.
Yeah.
When I was down at, I went down to Still Austin this past weekend and took the tour, and we were in a group. It was my wife and I and another couple that she knows through work. He lives down there, and we did the Still Austin, and we did the tour, and there were a couple other guys and their wives, and we did the tour. When we got back, we got to visiting, right? Because we all had samples. Everyone's loosened up a little bit, so we're all visiting and talking. And one of the guys was really excited about Garrison Brothers and just bourbon in general. And I let him know that we just picked up the Cowboy, and his eyes got huge. And he's like, "Really? You got one of those?"
Oh, wow.
He goes, "I heard that when they released that at the distillery, the line of cars to get in there were hundreds and hundreds of cars long."
That is
Yeah, we got lucky.
insane.
We,
That's insane.
I'm not going to say which liquor store notified us because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But we have these relationships because we go to these different liquor stores and we buy stuff, and we're regular customers. You know, we don't spend $1 million there, but we spend more than the average bear. We do. And so, and plus we got the relationships. When there we goof up, we do dudes like us. We give them little trinkets and we goof off, and we invite some of them on the podcast. You know, because these guys are stewards. They're really knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's not forget we're celebrities. So
Right.
In our own mind, yeah.
that always helps.
In our own
But
mind.
these, but with building that relationship, they kind of like, hey, they send us a little text. Hey, by the way, you might want to come down. We've got XYZ that's here, and someone needs to be here like right now. And it's just like we put the memo out there.
It's like the text, "Who's available to go?"
Like, Jeff's circling it.
Yeah, I'm usually circling
Yeah,
it.
it's
just
the
waiting
brown
for it.
alert. It's
Yeah.
like beep, 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 beep.
On my way.
Right.
Go down the fireman pole. and that's what it's got to be, because like Jeff was saying, these people waiting down the
Yes.
street to get these bottles, wait, whatever. I mean, it's painful for them, but we got
Right.
lucky. So we did score the Cowboy, and I was super excited
Yeah,
about
they
it.
only made 10,000 bottles of it, and that's nationwide,
Oh, wow.
which is not a lot
No.
going nationwide.
So he was saying, so he didn't get one.
He didn't get one.
Right. And so he was like jealous.
Yeah,
He was envious.
Yeah, he was like, "How was it?" I was like, "Well, we haven't tried it yet." He's like, "I'm gonna have to listen to the podcast."
Oh, you
so I know what
haven't
it tastes
tried it?
like.
There we go.
No, we haven't tried it yet.
No, we haven't
we're
tried it
waiting
yet.
because it's such a special bottle. We don't know when we're going to do it.
That bottle is unopened in a box.
It's in a box.
Trump just got elected. Isn't that big enough of a celebration for you to try this, for crying out loud?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
this is also the 10th year of it, so it's kind of
Yeah, it's even added.
It's a little more special, even,
yeah.
and it's hazmat. So
If-
this is our.
If
Do
he
you know what
act-
hazmat is?
No.
So, Jeff, the official definition of hazmat.
Well, hazmat is what the bourbon whiskey folks call it if it's over 140 proof,
it's-
because you're not allowed to fly with alcohol like on a plane that's 140 proof and higher.
like you can't even check it in your
You
luggage.
can't even check it or anything like that because it's combustible. So a bourbon that is 140 proof, they're calling hazmat because it's hazardous material.
I get it.
Right. And it's excellent. I mean, just the bourbons we've had at that level are so rich. They've been
We've
fantastic.
only had a handful of them, not too many of them, but yeah, they're
thick.
If you were to take one of those and you were to shoot it, you would lose your mind because
you don't do that.
It's not something you should. It's like drinking Everclear. I mean, Everclear's what, 190? I mean,
I had some Everclear.
I don't even know what it is.
I had some Everclear at Still Austin. They pulled the clean distillate that they brought off. He goes, this is about 185 proof.
They took you out in a gurney.
The white dog.
It was. He goes, yeah. You hear this called White Dog. This is 185 proof ish around there.
Oof.
And he gave us it was like a full shot. He goes, no, everybody doesn't have to do this. I was like, I'll do it.
Well, look at you.
Hell yeah, you did. I'll do it. By the way, check out these balls.
Yeah. I did it, and one other person did it. Out of the 6 people there, only 2 of us did it. And I smelled it, and it was very, grain forward and everything. But did you ever have horseradish when those vapors go through your nose? That's what it was like. I was like,
that wasabi. Just kind of like,
yeah,
boom.
It was. And I was just like, I was trying to keep the cool. I was like, wow, yeah.
I just shit
it was just
my
going
pants.
through the nose. I was like, wow. That's
so you just took one little sip of it.
No, I shot it.
Did you really?
Yeah. There's only one way to do that.
I'm not sipping that.
Good for you.
Well, first of all, it's not doesn't taste good.
No.
It tastes like it tastes like corn.
It's got
fire.
It's got a flavor to it, but it's hot.
They always said that Everclear is actually so dangerous because it has no taste. Bullshit! It totally has a taste.
It's a bad taste.
Yeah, when they put a bottle of
It's
Everclear
bad.
in like the punches in college.
Oh yeah, I taste the Everclear.
Oh, you absolutely taste the Everclear.
You can taste your soul leaving your body when you drink.
Yeah.
High C and Everclear. That was college.
Yeah, it's fruit punch. Yeah, but
so
and you know what?
gross.
In that that's actually pretty good. And I enjoy hazmat stuff. Hazmat bourbon or whiskey.
Oh, for
technically
sure.
it's whiskey. Because anything over 125 proof is not bourbon. It's
No.
whiskey. Is it 120?
No. It has to. It can't be in the barrel. Entered into the barrel can't be higher than 125 proof. But if it ends up being, it can end up being whatever proof
I
it wants to be.
think Still also says they've had some go up to 165
Bourbons.
Meaning,
well, good.
meaning it goes into the barrel at 125 or less, and then all the water evaporates.
Yeah, all of it. It's left
all
with
of
a
it,
thimble.
like literally all of it, and then we have a really high proof bourbon. So,
All right.
Anyway,
So
just wanted to-
by drinking that, I mean, I enjoy it. I buy them when I have it. When I see them, I like to buy them. I like to buy a single barrel hazmat because of the style in which I like to drink it. We talked about how we drink our stuff.
Right.
And I like to drink mine neat. So if you have a hazmat neat, well, God bless. With a hazmat,
You need one.
yeah, you need one drink, and I
One.
usually I like club soda. And I'll tell you, I'll break down the club sodas really quick because it's odd. And most people will be like, club soda, carbonated water, it's the same thing. It's club soda. It's water with fucking bubbles in it. Get over it. No, it's not. You can go to a soda fountain machine, click on the soda button, and you get carbonated water. The CO2 hits it, and there's a lot of bubbles in it. All right, great. Those are large bubbles. So when you drink that, imagine you're thirsty. You drink a club soda. It goes down.
Big
What
old
do you?
belch.
Oh God, you're just like overwhelmed. You're just burping the hell out of stuff.
God.
Well, all right. Well, I mean,
don't quite sound like that.
that's not fun. Okay, they
Well, it
they
is.
have
So
they have
so dramatic.
Topo Chico. That's how you say it? Topo Chico.
Topo Chico, yeah.
It's a little less bubbles. They've got Perrier, which is even a little less bubbles. My favorite, my 100% favorite to drink with hazmat stuff or just stronger bourbons is San Pellegrino.
I just like the way he says bubbles.
I know. Me too. Me too. The lisp is really coming.
Bubbles.
So hold on. Bubbles.
Cinnamon
Tell us
bubbles.
about your bubbles. All right, so yeah, and he said
That's
it.
my dancing
and,
name.
and Larry, he said it like 14
Bubbles.
14
I
times.
know.
Bubbles on
Big
the
bubbles
center
and little
stage.
bubbles and tiny bubbles.
Yeah, there was
All
like way too many bubbles.
A lot of bubbles. Okay. All right. So hold on. So
All right.
so how much of the bubble
I'm
water
getting bubble shamed.
are you putting in with the hazmat? Like
I don't mix it in there.
oh,
It's a
chaser.
soda, it's a bubbles on the side.
it's a
He said
chaser.
it again.
It's a bubbles on the side.
No, I mean I don't like to mix it, so I have my drink on the side. It's a chaser.
It's
It's a small little rocks glass, and
We're gonna lose Larry here. We're losing him.
He's fallen into the ether of the podcast.
Okay.
Just say bubbles one more time.
No,
Bubbles.
don't. I think it's run its course. All right. Okay, interesting. So it's a chaser. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
All right.
and that's the way I like to drink it. So a lot of times I'll have a beer, and sometimes I've gone to a bar, I'll order a bourbon, and I'll have a club soda back, no ice.
To chase it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you order that sometimes. You order it like that all the time, but they always bring it in ice.
Yeah, I'm just like, why? I didn't want fucking ice in there. If I wanted ice, I would have asked for ice.
Oh, you just want.
They always fuck you at the bar.
They do.
I'm doing a Joe Pesci there.
So you just want a glass of the bubble water.
Yeah, just give me a glass of carbonated soda.
No ice.
With bubbles.
Interesting.
No
Really?
ice.
No
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think that it's the room temperature thing that would bother me. I mean, is it room temperature? No, I guess it's cold.
Well, dude, you grew up in the you didn't grow up in the United States. Did they have ice everywhere you went?
Dude, that's a really good question.
I mean, in Okinawa, did they have ice where you? Grew up?
Yes, there's ice in Okinawa, dumbass.
That's only in America.
I mean, they had.
No, there is ice in Indonesia as well, but you can't.
Okay.
You have to be cautious about it being purified water.
That's the point I'm saying. So
Yes.
I grew up. I
Yes.
grew up living in Europe, and we didn't have ice. Because if you had ice, you'd have to pour the soda into a tray and put it in the freezer,
Right.
And freeze it. We just didn't do it. We got used to just drink it straight out of the liter, and that's the way we drink it. We got used to it. It was easy, and it's easy for me, and so I don't have a problem with it.
I can't recall. I mean, I'm sure we had ice trays, right? We had filtered water. We had
ice trays.
Yeah, we had the big tubs of water that you dump into the big dispenser.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, what do you mean? People have that in here in their own homes.
Oh.
Big, the big
come
heavy.
in the
We
5
just
gallon?
had sink water.
Yeah, the big 5.
We had tap.
We just had sink
Oh
water.
shit!
The hell's going on over there?
In
Turn
Cincinnati.
on the faucet.
Yeah, you had your radioactive sink water in from Cincinnati.
Houston.
Yes.
Oh, even Houston. Houston's like a pharmaceutical nightmare down there. They
yeah.
probably
Petrol.
overload the fluoride.
Yeah, they probably did.
Speaking of fluoride, we're not going to talk about politics. No, never mind. Oh, but you know what? We can. Let's touch a little bit on Elon Musk and.
it's a different flavor of politics. It's not really politics.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the. We already went through on the first half about the election and stuff, but we were talking about some of the great things that Trump is going to do. Hopefully, he's going to follow through with all these things. And one of the things he's appointing, based on what I heard, was Elon Musk to work with Ron Paul. And Paul, why don't you follow through with some?
Yeah, I mean, so he wants him to come on board and be part of his government efficiency. So that's. I mean, I think we've all been complaining in general about just out of control spend, right?
Yeah.
These $1 trillion budget, $1 trillion deficits. That's what's contributing to the inflation. And then we have this out of control debt, right? What, $36 trillion?
Right.
I mean, and everybody thinks, yeah, that's never ever going to be solved, right? But I mean, Trump is talking to Elon, and he's like, I need you to tighten up ship. And he's talking about cutting.
Elon stripped Twitter 80%.
I wonder if you remember the guy from Argentina.
Yes.
He came in and he says, "We're doing away with this organization, this organization, this organization, this."
He's a libertarian.
The Department of Education is gone. I wonder if Elon's going to come in there and go, "Yeah, we don't need the Department of Health anymore."
You're damn
or
right he's going to
Department
do
of
that.
Education.
You know the
Boom,
beauty?
out.
His name is Milei, I think. It's Millei or something like that.
Yeah.
He's a libertarian,
Yeah.
and he got voted in. And remember, Argentina's been struggling with this hyperinflation issue for decades,
Right.
right? Like hyperinflation.
Tell me the president of Argentina.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Millei.
Javier.
Javier Milei.
Javier Milei.
So anyway, this is a real-time experiment of somebody willing to do the things that no elected official has ever been willing to do, which is literally cut government programs. On day one, he got rid of 8,000 government employees that were part of some department that was overkill, just waste, bloat.
Well, he
much-
axed a lot of places. Or,
Yes.
Yeah, he trimmed the fat.
Oh,
you don't have
lot.
to say trim the fat. It's different from what Joe Biden did. When Joe Biden trimmed the fat on actual, like the oil. First day in office, he just cut
So I wonder
the
if
oil program.
I
down.
wonder if Elon's going to come in there and do that. It's probably going to be harder to do up here.
Oh, big time. But
He's
there's
gonna get a
so
lot of-
much bloat. There's so much bloat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say we're doing away with the Department of Education,
And push it down to the states.
push it down to the states.
So every state has to create a Department of Education. Every state. So those federal jobs have jobs. They can go down to whatever state they want to.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not losing those jobs.
And that way, it keeps kind of the power of what you're educating in your schools local.
Absolutely. Dude,
Right.
it's
And that's
all
good
about,
and bad.
It's about pushing the power as close to the people as possible.
Yeah.
Starting at the city, then the county, then the state.
Well, the teachers union
Always.
is going to fight that big time.
You think so?
I think so. I think they get a lot of power from the Department of Education. The union are kind of tied at the hip.
Well, that'll be dissolved.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
With that, no, she won't allow that. That lady, what's her name? The head of the teachers union.
Adolf.
Really?
No.
I mean, look. I mean, if
Ava
they cut
Braun.
it, then they cut it.
I know who that is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. I'm more interested in them just trimming the fat. You know, the less money we're paying to the government, the more that we can put in our pockets and pay for food and pay for our kids' college.
Here's what I find really interesting, right? We already know that Trump is not a politician. He's a businessman. Elon Musk is a businessman. He's going to bring him in to solve have approaches to government bloat that they don't do normally. As a matter of fact, and they're even like RFK Jr. They're talking about bringing RFK Jr. to be the health.
They're not talking about it. They're doing
They're going to do it.
So RFK
Anyway.
is going to come in, and then on his first day, he's gonna put the order down to strike fluoride from our water.
Yes. So I'm actually excited about them bringing in different types of people to solve, some of the issues that we're having, the bloat and the inefficiencies, and we'll see how it goes.
Right.
I'm really excited to kind of see how that goes. It's like an experiment. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it can't be bad, in my opinion.
I don't think it. I've heard some people say that. Well, if the government's going to help, like let's just say, for example, I don't want to mention. I had a family member from the Northeast, hardcore Democrat, and she was kind of like, I kind of like the government helping us out, putting fluoride in the water, looking out for us. I kind of like the government putting fortified vitamin D milk in our milk. They're trying to help us. I kind of like them doing all this stuff, and I was like, why? To me, it reminds me of the squirrel and muskrat. It's an overreach of authority. Why do they get to choose to put fluoride in the water that comes out of my sink?
Yeah, we just have blind trust in the government, right? Blind trust.
But it turns
out
that
is it good for us? I don't know.
Well, that's just it. It's ignorance is bliss.
Well,
it's not good for us.
I heard that one of the things you said, the fluoride's going to be one of the first things. I also think I heard Kennedy's going to work on is get all those fake colors out of our food as well. Really work on the processed food.
I like red dye. Red dye 40.
I hate the red dye.
I want as much red dye 40 as I can get. I put it on my
that's
waffles.
The bad stuff.
I just buy a bottle of red dye 40 and I put it on waffles. I put it on my eggs.
You just shoot it, right? Add it to your bourbon.
I want preservatives. I want plastic straws.
Yes, all of it. I want all of it.
Well, that's the shit you don't find over in Europe. I know Sean says that there's foods that you don't find over there, and a lot of it is because of those food dyes.
Yeah. Yes, I totally agree.
Well, the EU's their government. I don't know what their form of I don't know who's that does our food. The FCC,
FDA.
The FDA. Their FDA kind of strikes down all kinds of stuff. They're kind of like, you got to be losing your fucking mind. What do you think this is? The United States? We're not putting that shit over here.
Yeah, you bring that up a lot, Sean. The government standards in the safety standards, I guess I should say, in Europe are different than the safety standards in the United States, and that's concerning. There should be like a standard set that everybody agrees on, and that food scientists and whoever
like a global conglomerate.
Oh God!
Well, now we're going to get into the UN style stuff, but you know what?
That sounds horrible.
No, but there should be
because money gets involved.
Well, I think the reason
when
why
money gets involved, just like pharmaceuticals, it goes sideways.
Right. I think the reason you see it over here are the lobbyists for the food companies, the chemical companies. They're lobbying the FDA to say, hey, we can make this food. It'll pass it.
Yes.
It's the lobbyists. Lobbyists are the root of a lot of evil.
They really are.
There's a lot of money flying around.
Oh, tons of money. It all boils down to money.
Yeah, lots of money flying around.
And I want Twinkies. And ho-hos.
Those Twinkies, what are those made out of? To make them last for decades.
I don't know. But that actually came up
They taste good, though.
That came up in the J.D. Vance
My favorite one were like the pink cupcakes, the like a chocolate
with the
cupcake with
coconut.
the marshmallow and the coconut on top.
Snowballs?
Snowballs!
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
I don't think I've ever had a snowball,
Oh,
but that
Jesus.
sounds wonderful.
Yeah, what did
it's-
J.D. Vance say?
Well, J.D. Vance was talking to Joe Rogan, and they were talking about how pharmaceuticals are, during the football on TV. You have all these pharmaceutical companies, right? And they're showing these commercials where, do this and this and this, and at the very end, you have these people skipping on the beach, and it's like, and it can cause lung cancer, and it can cause death, and it can cause this, and it can
Anal
cause that.
leaking.
It could get anal
Yeah,
leaking.
Anal
Anal
leakage.
leaking is on every single one of them, actually.
You don't want that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we don't want anal leaking.
I think Sean's
That
anal leaked downstairs earlier.
Oh God.
Hey, man, I had a... don't judge me. I could have saved it for the podcast room.
Right.
you
But I
said-
did. I watched that part in there, and Joe Rogan asked the question: what would it take? Is it possible to undo that regulation that allows pharmaceuticals to advertise?
100%. I mean, they wouldn't let you advertise liquor or cigarettes on television.
Or lawyers or doctors.
I didn't know about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
know,
you see all
there's-
that shit now.
And here's the point that they were making about it. So there's so much advertising revenue that the pharmaceuticals are giving to the mainstream media that what do you think the mainstream media is going to do? They're going to go right along with it,
right.
right? They can't demonize them. They can't air news reports that talk about this vaccine being unhealthy for you. They can't air
They take $20
negative
million from them in the commercial.
Yeah, they're not going to take $100 billion from them and then give negative press to them. They can't do it. They don't want to risk losing that revenue. And that's what J.D. Vance said. We need to stop allowing them to advertise on TV.
Not just TV. I think magazines. Because if I get
Period.
I don't have magazines, but every now and then you'll get a free magazine, and you're looking through it.
It's
like
flooded.
all the ads are fucking like big, thick 2-page ads for drugs.
Flooded.
And all of it's all the disclaimers.
Yeah.
You're going to die from this. You got anal leakage.
Anal leakage.
And shit like that.
Yeah. And that should be, I think, the focus of this podcast is anal leakage today.
Sure.
So let's really dive into that. Let's dive really up in there.
You know what? Well,
And-
if we really want to get into leaking, I'll tell you about something
God.
that bothers me, and this has been occurring. And plus, I gotta tell you, I don't know about you guys. We had a prior podcast about my sleeping inabilities, where I was waking up 2-3 times a night because of my sleep apnea, and I'd get up 2-3 times. I have to go pee, and I was just like, it was a fucking absolute. I didn't even realize how miserable I was.
Were you leaking?
No, but I'll get into the leaking part soon. But
Right.
I'd get up because I'd go to bed. In fact, I had to sleep on the couch, dude. I slept on my couch for fucking 12 years.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't sleep in the bed with my wife because she thought I was gonna fucking die.
Yeah,
and I snored so loud.
It wasn't just loud. It was the type of
Just
snoring
a
as well.
symphony of
I think your
gelatinous.
I think your tongue would like go down into your fucking lungs or something.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was really, really bad.
So it was bad. In fact, I ordered through Lofta, Lofta, and I will encourage people to go out there and do it. So Lofta, they provide you with a little device you hook up to your finger, and there's a little microphone that goes up to your throat, and you Bluetooth it to your phone overnight, and you register it, you put your name on there. All the data goes to the center, and they process it. They have a real doctor that will assess the report, and they'll be like,
yeah, you're gonna die.
I was gonna say
they came to me and said, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're fucking 25. You are you.
I was in the car when you got that phone call. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Really?
"Ah."
Oh, you being for real? They
Oh,
called
yeah.
you and they were like, "You have a serious problem."
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they said it was way beyond normal. They were like, yeah, you need to start.
Well, we
so-
witnessed it firsthand, didn't we, Joe?
I have
Yeah.
multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
great.
we travel, and when we travel, we usually share a bed. I mean, a room,
a single bed,
and yeah,
We
single
go
bed, all
bullshit.
three of
twin,
us.
a twin.
So I got the
Sleeping bag.
Lofta CPAP machine, APAP, CPAP, APAP. I figured out that the APAP is just automated. It's not really that
Well,
big of a deal.
CPAP is the continual pressure, right?
Yeah, and I'm kind of on board with the continual pressure. The APAP to me is variable, and I'm not really. Anyways, the leaking part is the mask. So I've experienced some of that going on, but
Like drool.
no, not drool leaking.
air.
That was air wise.
Oh, air.
Because you got to buy different components, and I'm kind of these CPAP machines are expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
I paid $1,400 for this thing. It's by AirMed, AIRMED. I believe something like that, right?
How long do those last? Like, when do you have to buy another
I
one?
had mine. I've had it for a year and a half. That's what I was kind of driving to because I went to bed the night before last and this night, and I was making a little bit more noise than it should. And I was kind of like, what's going on over there? I think I need to take a look, like do some purging because I don't know, drop another $1,500 on it, and I don't even know if it's covered by insurance.
It is.
Well,
Is it?
Sure it is. Yeah.
Well, you didn't have insurance at the time.
you didn't.
No.
That
That's
was
why
part
you
of the
had to pay
problem.
full
That's why
price
you
for it.
delayed. That's
Yeah.
why you delayed on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I ended up paying for it.
Now the leaking though is not the unit itself. It's
It's the mask. It's
Yeah,
suction to the
yeah.
face. There's
different types of masks.
Well,
right?
I mean, and this is the problem that some people suffer with. First of all, I don't typically roll side to side when I sleep. I'm a back sleeper, so I lay on my back, and that's what I do. And I'll tell you what, I enjoy the CPAP machine because I can literally, because I have two pillows.
right.
I usually put my head on the first pillow, and I take the second pillow and I put it over my face. I know it's stupid. I don't give a shit what people
Tara
think.
reaches over and presses down.
I got my CPAP. I can breathe till it's
she's like,
fine.
damn it, I'm holding it for like
But
hours, and he's
she's
still
like,
breathing.
I don't know how he does it.
But I usually and I got a process, and I'll share that with you. So I got my phone, and I put it on a little charger, and I got my headphones, not my headphones, my earbuds, and I connect it, tether it to the phone, and I usually put on Netflix Seinfeld,
Oh my
and
God.
I hit play. I put the earbuds in my ear after my mask is on. I lay down and I go to bed, and I go to bed pretty quick.
Hold on,
And
you're ear podding Seinfeld.
I'm not earpod. Yes.
I think that's because you were on the sofa and you would sleep with the TV on.
No, it's because I have a room. I have a house full of people.
And so your white noise
Correct.
is Seinfeld.
Correct.
All the time? I mean, do you ever
Every night.
switch to anything else?
Any
other sitcom?
I mean, I went through
Like Friends.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia
Yeah, like
for a
Friends
while. I mean, yeah, it's been a change. It changes, but right now I'm on Seinfeld.
Sean, there's so many options. You can
Andy
listen to
Griffith.
MASH.
Yeah.
You can do Three's Company.
Hee
You
Haw.
could listen to. Come on, guys. Let's keep coming up with examples of what he could listen to.
Who's the boss?
Yeah, well, I don't know if
I
wanna do
Dream of
that.
Jeannie.
Ooh.
Actually, that's a good one.
Happy
It
Days.
doesn't really matter what it is, but I mean that is the whole thing that I do every night. I lay down and I go to sleep, and I tell you, and Larry, you have shared that you have purchased or
Yeah, did you
got one?
did you dip your toe in the CPAP world?
I did. Like
first.
you, Sean, I am a snorer. That's a hard word to say.
is.
Snorer.
like
Yeah.
bubbles.
Always have been. Even when I was young and skinny, I snored. Still snore. So I go to the sleep doctor, and they gave me one of these rings that you put on your finger that you were talking about. It syncs to your phone and syncs to the doctor's office. So I wear this for, I forgot what it was, 3 or 4 days to monitor sleep and disturbances in the night and if you're waking up in the night.
Yeah, it detects you farting too.
So according
nice.
to this data that was sent to the doctor's office, they said, well, you have mild apnea. Okay, well,
They said it like that?
that's exactly how they said it. So I go, I don't really think that I do because I sleep through the night. I wake up, I'm refreshed, 7.5 hours, boom, I'm good to go. I don't need a nap in the day. But if your little technology says that I have sleep apnea, really all I want you to do is get me one of the machines, okay? So,
Shouldn't they be asking your wife?
So
Your wife is getting 90 minutes of sleep, right?
Yeah, the wife confirms. Yes, he's a snorer. But snoring, see, is different than apnea, right? I mean, apnea, you
stop breathing.
That's right. You stop
Right,
breathing
right.
so that it interrupts you and wakes you up, but not all the way. Okay, so you're not getting that REM sleep.
For insurance to cover it, has to be sleep apnea.
That's right.
Interesting.
So they said, yes, Larry,
Right.
you have apnea. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. So they had to prescribe. They wrote a prescription.
Yeah.
is that what you walked away
For
with?
the
Whatever,
machine.
dude. Just give
Yeah.
me the fucking
Yeah.
machine. Fucking
And,
asshole.
the
I
brand,
gotta
the-
fucking wear what? What are you talking
the
about?
brand of mine is a ResMed. Is
Yeah,
that-
that's it. Yeah,
ResMed.
ResMed.
Yeah.
I think I said AirMed. I meant to say ResMed. Yeah.
So this is a little tabletop device that's about the size of a clock radio like you had when you were in high school back
Yeah.
in the day.
Do you have an Airstream?
And
That sounds what I have.
so I get this. And I was afraid that the hose was going to be the biggest bothersome piece of, but turns out it's not. This ResMed thing is very well designed, very well engineered. It's pretty much quiet. Again, I thought it was going to be loud like a fan noise thing, but it makes no sound at all.
Surprisingly.
Do you have a full mask or just the nose?
No, I got the Jet Pilot.
What is that?
That's what you wear.
Oh, yeah.
The Jet Pilot thing.
I highly recommend it. I would never go just for the nostrils. It seems like a waste.
I got to say that the Jet Pilot mask, it's very well designed. It's
very soft.
It's very soft. It's a lot more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. The plastic that they use, the plastic part that not adheres to your face, but that touches your face, I guess. You're right. It's very soft. It's not
supple.
Supple is a good word. I'll go with that.
So is it attached? Is it attached to the silk panties that you wear? Or?
No, it's thong. What the hell, dude?
Oh, silk thong. Okay. All right, keep going.
So you wear this mask, like the jet fighter mask. I don't see how you do, because Sean, you have facial hair. And how do you get a? How does it seal?
It doesn't affect it at all.
Really?
Yeah, it goes right in there. I tied it up. It really doesn't.
Doesn't that bother you?
Not at all.
I know whenever I have a beard and I lay on my chin or something like that, it always bugged me.
It doesn't bother me at all. Zero irritated.
Well, I think you were so uncomfortable without it. You're just like, this is fucking awesome.
It is. I can sleep.
Right.
What say you? Were you getting up in the middle of the night prior?
I was getting up in the middle of the night. Man, you could set a German train schedule to this every night, like 3:15.
3:15. The German Strassenbahn is coming through. Honk, honk.
You people get off. You people get on. We are leaving.
Wow.
Bring your bubbles. Bring your bubble water.
But it wasn't because of an interruption in sleep. It was because I had to pee.
Yes.
It was a pee call.
Yeah. And it turned out it had nothing to do with pee.
It had nothing to do with sleep apnea.
Hold on. It had everything to do with sleep apnea.
Right.
Do you still get up in the middle of the night?
Yes, but it's to pee. It's not because my
that's
sleep
interesting.
Is disturbed. Or
So
it's not because I'm gasping for air.
So the machine is not helping you sleep all the way through the night, despite the fact that you have to pee, but it can make you last longer.
No.
Interesting.
Last longer.
Well, make you go longer without peeing.
Like erection?
No.
Oh.
Does your ResMed
throw?
machine have a little display thing that shows the PSI?
Yes.
Okay, it starts off at like 4.
Yeah, it goes up to 20.
It goes up pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time I wake up and I take it off, I feel like I'm like Darth Vader.
It does. Yeah, because it self-adjusts. Like it is measuring.
It does.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's like.
So I'll share just this part about getting up in the middle of the night. I would get up in the middle of the night to go pee as well, 2-3 times a night sometimes. And it was because I couldn't breathe. It was because of my sleep apnea. Because now I don't get up at all. If I get up, it's like once in a blue moon. Very, very seldom do I get up in the middle of the night.
Interesting.
I get great sleep now. Great.
When that pressure gets up to, I think mine goes as high as maybe 15 psi, that's pretty good air pressure. I mean, if you take the hose off, the hose connects to the jet fighter mask by a little clip mechanism, and
you will have to replace that eventually.
You can easily take it off and feel the air blasting out of the hose. It's coming out of there at a pretty good clip.
So did you? I had some, and this is for the listeners out there that are getting the CPAP machine for the first time. When that pressurizes your lungs, for me, the first 2 nights, I woke up the next day and my lungs actually felt exercised. Like you could feel that I felt like it'd been pressurized.
Because you were taking deeper breaths or something.
Well, it was pressurized in the lungs with 20 pounds or 15, 20 pounds, whatever it is. And I almost thought I was having a heart attack because I didn't understand. It's like going
like a sore muscle?
Yes. I didn't understand. It was like, well, my whole chest hurts. What's going on? And that's what it was. And I shared that with my doctor, and he was like, yeah, I think that's the pressure of the machine. You get used to that. And I did. I did. So for those people out there that get it, don't be alarmed. But I do recommend it for those people out there, especially dudes like us.
But the thing that kind of amazes me is you have this mask on. Now, granted, it's sealed to your skin around your nose and chin and cheeks and that. But you've had something that was maybe like a leaf blower that was blowing 15 psi of air at your face. I mean, that's a pretty good bit of wind. That's
it's coming at you.
It is.
But when it's in this sealed mask thing,
you don't notice.
You don't notice it at all.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't know how just the nose. I don't know. You have just the nose, right?
I have just the nose.
I don't know how
cup.
that could possibly work. And you've even yourself had admitted that you've woken up with your mouth open and it's a.
Yeah, so it can give me dry mouth for sure. It gives me dry mouth if I open my mouth while I'm sleeping. But
Do you get dry orifice?
Well, the machine has a reservoir,
as a humidity
and
control.
you have the option of putting distilled water in there. I went through that for a long time. I would have a little 2.5 gallon distilled water container next to my bed. I would load it up and do not use distilled water, because if you use regular water, there's going to be a ton of calcium buildup on that thing. Don't do it.
I actually use this osmosis water, and I always have from day one.
Look at me.
And I have absolutely no calcium buildup at all.
Did you ever use just like bottled water, like
I have
Ozarka or something?
No, it's the same thing. Calcium buildup.
Does it?
I try not to, but when I travel to like Albuquerque or something, I might use bottled water because that's all I have at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I don't travel with anything else.
I don't use water at all anymore.
You use bourbon?
No, I don't use anything.
You should try bourbon.
Vodka?
No, I don't use it. No, I use no alcohol whatsoever. No, I don't use it. I do it dry, and it's been okay. Now, there's some nights where it's
you say dry?
I don't put water in the reservoir.
In the humidifier.
Yes.
It's dry.
Yeah.
I don't notice any difference.
So
I've never even tried that.
For the first 6 months, I religiously used this distilled water every single night. And then I ran out, or I forgot a couple times to put it in there or refill it, or it ran out in the middle of the night because I didn't fill up the reservoir for some stupid reason.
And you're like,
And I was like, it was okay. It wasn't that bad.
It doesn't make any difference.
And then it does, really.
I did not know that.
It does, but I will tell. Let's share. So what it does is it does create some humidity in there. But what it also does, and you probably have the same, that in that tube there is some electrical wires that they heat up.
Yes.
And with the water, that's the humidity that's going in there from the reservoir, it can create an environment that's conducive for mold growth. So they say that if you use water all the time, you need to make sure that you clean that tube out all the time.
Sure.
Because of the growth in there. So I was like, I'm really lazy. I'm getting ahead of this, because I shouldn't say lazy. I really am. Is that lazy?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't want to do it. You're just like, fuck it, I don't want to do that.
Is that lazy, though? Or is that just a choice?
It's more disciplined. Discipline is probably a better word. I mean, there's a million things you got to do.
These are just choices. I choose not to do that.
It's one extra thing you got to do, and if it's not a big deal to go
I don't
dry.
know if it's necessarily lazy. It's just, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Kind of
It's
thing.
just an extra thing to do.
So I opted out. I don't do it anymore, and I'm fine. And I use it. I'm so happy that I have that CPAP machine. And I bring this up because I'm encroaching. I bought it in January of last year, so now it's coming around to almost 2 years old. So I'm kind of, is it time for me to get another one?
I don't know.
No, the only thing you need to replace are the hoses and the mask.
Yeah, but this thing's making some noises that's not normal. So I need to probably.
I wonder if his is working like overtime.
Maybe. Oh,
mine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Getting extra use. Yeah.
What kind of noises?
It's like you know, it started off like yours. It didn't make any noise. Mine's making noise now.
Like a whirring sound? Or?
Like a compressor kind of noise. Like,
like that?
Yeah, so, a little less. More of what Jeff did.
Needs a muffler.
Yeah.
So by using CPAP, now, you had a severe apnea issue.
Yes,
severe.
Yes, I did.
Severe.
And snoring.
Oh,
severe.
Horrific.
So the apnea has, from what you're telling me, the apnea has been solved.
Yes.
Is the snoring solved?
Probably 75% of it. My wife can still hear me snoring in the mask, especially if I have a couple of cocktails and I'm drunk. She can. I snore, but without that, she's like, you snore very little. It's very subtle, you know. And in fact, she snores louder than I do right now, at least as far as I know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And she doesn't even snore that loud.
What do you do to clean the mask and the hose?
I just simply run it.
Shower with it?
That's what I do.
You shower with yours?
Shower with it?
Yeah, I take it in the shower and just clean it in the shower
Every morning when you wake up?
Maybe every other day.
Really? God, that's really good. I clean mine like once every 6 months.
You almost said year.
Really?
I know.
I
I heard year.
I cleaned it twice.
I didn't want to say year because it kind of makes me weird, but it might be year. I clean the hoses and the reservoir.
I clean the mask about once a week.
By doing what?
I take it to the sink and I use soap and water.
Yeah.
That's all I do when I have done it.
But the tube itself, I don't clean the tube out because I'm not exhaling into the tube. So
You're not?
You're not?
No, because you're not sending your breath into the tube. The connection between the tube and the mask has these flaps that will wear out after time. I've replaced mine once already. And when you exhale, it shoots out the sides.
Gotcha.
So when you inhale, it comes through the tube. When you exhale, it shoots out the sides. So there's no real reason to clean the tube unless you have that humidity level.
Using water with humidity.
And that's really the only time. That's the reason why I don't clean it. But my mask, you know, I've had to replace my mask 3 times since I've had it. Those masks are fucking expensive.
Yeah,
man.
they are. They are expensive.
$165 for one of those motherfuckers.
I know.
Kidding me. Really?
What?
Yes, they
I've
are.
seen them on Amazon for like $40.
I don't buy. I buy
Oh, boy.
the ResMed version.
Yeah,
I don't get the
ResMed
second
brand on Amazon is like $45.
You might want to look into that. I have shopped around.
I buy from ResMed. So either
You sucker.
I think maybe I got the whole pack with the little whatever I got was a package. It wasn't just the mouth part that fits around your face. It was the little elbow that goes and turns down to the tube.
And so the headpiece that holds the mask onto your face.
Yeah. That took a little getting used to.
Yes.
Really?
You know what? I misspoke. You are right. I bought the whole headpiece with the mask, and that was $165.
Yeah, you can keep the headpiece and just buy the.
Well, the headpiece, the little Velcro part on my top right, it kept falling out. It kept the Velcro part of it.
Oh yeah, mine did
started
that too.
fucking up,
Failed.
and in the middle of the night, it'd come off, and then my mouth would go escaping, and I'm like, what is going on? What is going on?
What's happening?
What?
I said, what's happening?
That headset thing again, very well designed, very well engineered.
It is.
Yes.
It's got the 2 magnet things that come and clip by your jaw.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And
the perfect amount of strong earth magnet.
I take this thing out of the box and I go, what the hell? I gotta wear this thing.
Right. But it's sexy, isn't it?
But you put it on and it's not that uncomfortable.
But does your wife think it's sexy as hell?
Oh, she loves it.
Right?
Well, because he's
She's
quiet.
like, do me.
God. What do you think, honey? What do you think, honey? And she's
So
that's the biggest part. That's the best.
I want you now.
Hold on, because you just did that. What do you think, honey? Like one of the things I have to say, like Bronco, the golden retriever will come out and he'll sit there at the bed and he'll start licking his balls or start doing something that's annoying. That's why I put the earbuds in, so I don't have to listen to any of that shit. It's like, Bronco! And he's like, he looks at me like, what the fuck did you say, man? Man up, talk to me.
Yeah, it's because you're like 3 rooms over. What's he saying?
Continue.
But having said all this and praising how well this thing is engineered and it's way more comfortable than it looks like it would be.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They don't give it enough credit, really.
Yeah. I don't think this has done anything for what I don't really think that I have any sleep apnea.
Well, they did say you had minor
apnea.
They're like, sir, can you give us $1,500 and walk away?
They're selling apnea machines. So what the hell is it? No, you're fine. Yeah, there's no problem
It's
here.
minor.
Yeah.
It's minor.
Something you'll never hear, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not getting if it's not impacting your life in a positive way, then you might want to entertain not using it. I mean, just keep it, whatever. I mean, I need it.
Yeah,
I have to.
Sounds
have it.
like you do. Yeah.
No,
It's-
my wife is very clear that it's been night and day since I've been using it. But I will tell you, there's one problem with it, and I have the nose cup, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a flip flopper.
Oh,
and
because is
like
it big for your nostrils? Is it like going there too far? Are they
No,
stretched
no,
out
no,
to the point where
no,
you
no,
pick
no,
your
it
nose
doesn't
with your
go.
thumb?
No. Mine's a cup, right? It doesn't go into my nostrils. It's a cover of my nose, kind of like the jet fighter one, but just over my nose, not the whole mouth and nose, right?
So weird.
Anyway, but it's amazing how I'm a flip flopper and the tubes don't strangle me and they don't get caught up and they swivel.
No.
But sometimes they'll just get pulled, and so the thing will barely move and it'll be
Yeah.
right. And
You
so
hear a leak.
I don't hear shit, right? My hearing aids are out, and I'm sleeping regardless of what's going on. But Shelly can hear it, like it's like a jet engine,
Just
sound
like
going
kitty
on.
punch you.
So she reaches over and she's trying to resolve it. You know how fucking annoying that is?
Trying to reposition the thing onto
when
your nose.
you're asleep and there's a hand groping your face, and she's trying to grab it and move it, and I'm like, get the fuck out of me, get up, get up. God. It's annoying as hell, and I get
Do
like,
you sound like one of those deaf guys?
yeah, because you're like, yeah, because you're wearing the mask. It's like, don't touch me,
like
don't touch
a
me,
seal getting beat.
stop it. Yes, just like that. It's so annoying, and so she taps my head instead of her trying to fix it. She taps my head so that I will.
Fix it yourself.
No, you should tell her.
I'll grab the hose and I'll fix it anyway. It's so
You should
funny.
say, grab
Because-
my penis instead of tap my head.
Oh, is that what I?
Yeah, you should do
Yeah.
that.
Really?
Just squeeze it.
I'll know exactly what you're wanting if you just stick your hand down my pants.
That's my CPAP machine.
Yeah, and I don't know what you're trying to say, honey.
That's not the hose I wanted you to
Hey,
grab.
Hold on, stick with it because I think I know what you're trying to tell me, but keep your hand there.
So has there been any long-term study that does this affect your lungs in any way? Using one of these? I mean, I don't know if there is or not.
I
Forcing
don't-
all this
You
air
know,
in there?
I wasn't,
I don't know.
I wasn't thinking about that. There are some long-term studies, and it has nothing to do with the sleep apnea machine. It has to do with pressurized lungs. They have people out in space, in a pressurized vessels. They have people in submarines and pressurized vessels for extended periods. I don't think that our bodies are extremely resilient.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's an issue.
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
But if you
I
use it
think-
for the rest of your life, that's potentially, 40 years?
Well, I mean, look, I've got two things that concern me. That is kind of one of them because I find myself during the day sometimes like, oh, well, shit, man, am I struggling to breathe? Because I'm used to that pressure being shoved down
That's
there.
what I mean.
Am I getting lazy and I don't want to breathe anymore? I haven't.
My lungs stopped working.
Yeah,
You just
what
need
the hell,
to use
man?
it around the clock?
Fuck, I can't breathe anymore.
Walk
That is
around with
like
a little
the-
battery powered headset.
She's standing in the elevator with a CPAP.
That's like the epitome of laziness. I don't want to
Totally.
breathe
Yeah.
anymore.
Breathe for me.
I will tell you some things that do concern me.
It's a
And
mobile
it
iron
is
lung.
the chronic exposure of the type of rubber that's around your face that's constantly being touched because rubber is basically it's an effluent or it's a byproduct of oil.
It's petroleum, yeah.
It's petroleum based and it gets into our skin. We have no idea what that's going to happen. Frankly, I've got questions for you because I stopped wearing these Bluetooth earbuds, because I'm afraid of those microwaves. And I was thinking, fuck, man, Paul wears hearing aids. They're Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything else. I was like, I mean, do you have
They
fears of
are?
that?
Now I do. Thanks for bringing that up, bro.
No, well, I mean, these are the things I think about.
No, I've been wearing hearing aids. Well, they haven't had Bluetooth my entire life, but I've been wearing hearing aids since first grade. So
Yeah.
if there's an EF or what do they call it? RF? What's the frequency?
Radio frequency.
Yeah.
Like-
If there's any concerns about that, then I would have had a problem a long time ago. But
Yeah.
I don't worry about it.
All right. Well, that's good. So the two concerns I had aren't really. I don't have a whole lot. I mean, I thought about it, but I don't think that's really a big
Well,
deal.
you'd also weigh this go, if I don't use this, what's the side effects long term?
Sure.
Right? What's better?
Yeah, it's definitely better that I have it on. I will tell you that the quality of the lack of sleep I was getting was it was
you're a mess.
immeasurable.
We'd be driving and you'd fall asleep.
I would fall
at the
asleep.
wheel.
Larry, I would fall asleep driving all the time. And so, working for the company I work for, I drive 1 hour, 3 hours, 4 hours one way. And I was fine getting out to where I was going, but driving back, dude, I would fall asleep all the time. And I would literally have to pull over and sleep, take a little nap on the way back.
Yeah.
Because it was bad. I mean, I woke up, I can't tell you how many times I've woken up driving to the back of a semi. And I'm like, holy shit, this just happened.
That's not good at all.
It's not good. Oh my God. And my kids, like like Austin, I feel so bad for Austin. Our producer's not here today. But Austin is like, whenever I drove, he would look at me. He would look at the road, he would just look at me. And as soon as I would fall asleep, Dad. I was like, oh shit. And I was a little annoyed at first, and I was like, yeah.
I'm trying to sleep, son.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I'm awake. And then I was like, you're not awake, dude. And so I was like, I started taking it serious. And so I was like, well, look, I've got a problem, and I need to fix this. And it's increased the quality of my life 100, 200%.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, not so much the falling asleep at the wheel or being tired all the time, but from what I've read, it's the strain on your heart.
Yeah.
Because you're gasping for air all night long and not getting enough oxygen in your body, so therefore your heart starts working harder than it should.
Sure.
That is absolutely the oxygen. The lack of oxygen in your entire body is like so huge to be oxygenated. That is like one of the best things. The best proponents of having that thing is to be oxygenated. It does wonders for your body.
I just wish I didn't have the side effect of excessive anal leaking.
Oh,
I don't know why it affects that.
Speaking of anal leaking, you recently went on a trip to England, and you, Larry, our guest today, you just recently went on. Well, I don't know how recent it was. Probably in the last 6 months, right?
We went in August. The wife and I went to England in August for a week.
What's the weather like over there in August?
Oh man, it was so great.
Really?
It was like high of 75 in the day.
Right.
So that's Northern Hemisphere, so they're in the same climate.
It was about the same.
It's fall for them.
Same.
Well, they're further north, I believe.
It's about the same. What is this longitude?
Longitude left, right
of Maine.
Yeah, they're farther north.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so it should be colder then. Clearly.
Well, 75.
It was
in
cooler
August.
than it was here in August. I'll tell you
in
that.
August, yes.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was very pleasant. The other thing I noticed about English, they have no bugs.
Oh.
I never saw one mosquito, not a gnat. I think I saw one fly.
Did you kill it?
And I would see like bees in like flowers and things like that.
But no mosquitoes.
No mosquitoes.
Did you pay extra for that?
And
or no?
since the climate is very mild, the Airbnb apartments that we stayed in, there's no central air conditioning or window unit air conditioning.
Isn't that crazy that they don't need that?
You just open the windows. Yeah, because they don't need it because the climate is
That's
so mild.
Amazing.
So you open the windows. The windows don't have screens. Why? Because there's no bugs.
That's crazy.
Did you see any centipedes?
Nothing.
Ooh.
No.
Maybe the hobbits?
Millipedes?
How about bats?
Ooh.
No bats.
No.
No.
Well, the bats eat the mosquitoes.
But the story that I wanted to tell you guys, we went
deep thoughts.
We went to
Yeah.
my wife and I flew to London. We took a train across town to a train station called Euston Station.
Houston.
Euston,
Euston, Euston. And then we took like a bigger like cross-country train about an hour north to a town called Coventry. That's where we rented a Airbnb apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We went there to go to this outdoor music festival concert thing. It was huge. It was probably 600 acres, and it was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Even from the little town of Coventry, I had to take another train, and then you had to take an Uber. I mean, it was out in the in the hinterland. You ever seen the show Downton Abbey?
Yes.
Okay,
I love that show.
That was a great show. Great series. That's what it looked like. There was this English old manor that looked very Downton Abbey-ish.
Oh, I would love that.
And then all around it was nothing. Was fields.
Fields.
And,
Beautiful fields, though.
patch of woods here and there.
Hit pause. So we're going to take a look at this map here. So we got the North America, and so essentially, if you follow a straight line from Houston, it is north of Maine.
Yeah, so
it's Nova Scotia.
More Canada.
It's even north of Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably closer to, if you take it all across, maybe to Vancouver.
No shit. It's way up there, actually.
But it was summertime there is very pleasant. It was very nice.
So it must get cold as shit in Great Britain. Like in the winter? Like,
no, you pulled up.
Really
they don't
cold.
get a lot of snow there.
Really?
I know.
Did I pull up the wrong thing?
You pulled up the town of Euston.
That was a train station.
We were in London. The train station.
Probably a street name.
Man, we really need our producer.
Sorry. But, whatever. It doesn't matter. London is what,
You're doing the best you can, Sean.
London's like
So
100 miles
anyway,
from there.
we went to go to this. It was a rock and roll themed outdoor music festival.
Was it Whackin'?
Don
McLean.
Don McLean.
American Pie.
Bye, Mr.
American Pie.
He was the headliner.
If we sing that, we're going to be here for 20 minutes.
Minutes and 21 seconds.
Whatever.
But this whole thing, it was huge. It was probably 600 acres. I would guess there was 30,000 people at this thing. They had at least 3 stages that I know of, bands that were going on at the same time during the day and into the night.
How exciting. Was everybody walking around with big things of beer and just getting shit-faced?
They're all walking around with cowboy, like Texas Western wear.
Bizarre.
I expected everybody to look like Ichabod Crane and Pip from Great Expectations.
Right?
They're all looking like Buck Owens.
They're looking like John Wayne in a 50s Western.
So quickly, I'll tell you the story. I met this English guy as we're kind of I met this English guy that was there to see a band. Big, tall, nice looking guy. Tom was his name. He was a mechanic. He's probably middle 30s.
Did you get his last name?
Ray. This is the Red Clay.
We were there to see a band called the Red Clay Strays.
That's
yes.
right.
They're
that's important part of the story.
It's an American band, but they had gone over to England to play in this festival thing.
Super cool.
So that's why the wife and I went. So I meet this guy, Tom, and he's decked out, man. He's got the cowboy hat. He's got a bandana around his neck.
Oh, wow.
A Western shirt that he looks like he got at a Buck Owens garage.
Does he have rhinestones?
Right.
He had a belt buckle, jeans, boot. And in his hat, he had 2 black feathers stuck in his hat band.
From a crow?
Bang, 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 bang,
They
bang.
did look like they were black crow
ravens,
feathers
maybe?
that he found in his backyard somewhere.
Little meat down on the stick.
So I get to talking with this guy, and I
Very
go,
gamey.
I get to talking with this guy. I go, Tom, I'm looking around here, and I see like half of the people walking around are like in Western wear, and there's booths with food and trinkets and still in t-shirt. I'm looking over here, and there's like Texas barbecue, and over there is Tex-Mex tacos. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
is
I didn't
going
come
on
all
here?
the way over here
Yeah,
to get a bad version
I'm like I'm
of
walking
what I
around
get
at home.
Right. Except nobody walks around in Western wear.
So he explained that country and Western music has become a big deal in England over the past 3 or 4 years, and that people have kind of embraced that whole look and the whole dress and the whole thing.
That's awesome, though.
I'm like, okay, I get that. So after I kind of got to chatting with this guy for a little bit, and after a couple of beers too, really,
Oh, yeah.
I said, Tom, I need to talk to you about your hat for just a minute.
Oh, God.
He goes, oh yeah.
You know I'm from Texas, right?
And he takes the hat off, and he shows me the inside of it. He shows me the label inside of it, and he goes, look, it's made in Mexico. Like he was really proud of this. I'm like,
Which is not Western wear for us.
I'm like, okay, Tom, that's great. Good for you.
It's great.
I said, now, Tom, you're doing it right, son. Okay, because you've got a straw hat on, and Texans wear a straw hat in the summer and a felt hat in the winter. He goes, yes, I read that somewhere.
You're nailing that accent.
Yes.
And I said, but Tom, I got to talk to you about these feathers in your hat band.
They don't do that in Texas.
He goes, what? Is there a problem? I said, well, son, all I can tell you is that if a guy walked into a Texas honky-tonk with feathers stuck in his hat band like that, somebody from the bar is just going to beat the shit out of him. He looks aghast at me. He goes, really? I said, yeah, really. He goes, well, perhaps I should remove them. I said, yeah, I think I would. So he did. He yanks them out and he throws them on the ground.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Poor guy. You scarred him for life.
That's good stuff.
Well, if they
So
want
Tom the mechanic, you never got a last name from him, right? Shout out.
Well, if they want to be authentic, they should take something from a Texan, right?
There we go.
Hey,
Yeah,
Except for the fact that we don't wear any of that stuff,
no, we don't.
right?
We don't.
And did you, what else did you do down there?
We spent a couple of days in Coventry, went to that festival thing, and then took the train back to London and did touristy stuff in London. All the regular
The
stuff
normal
that
stuff.
everybody else does. Got fish and chips and things like this.
There you go.
They drink a lot of gin there.
And you were there for a week.
It's
Gross.
foul.
A lot of gin.
I like gin.
No,
Man, you go
pass.
into
Under
a
the right conditions.
No, thank you.
you go into a bar, typically you go into a bar and there's the bartender standing there and behind him is, the shelf for a bar with the bottles of booze behind him. So the gin section is like 10 feet wide and everything else is like just this 2-foot little section of brown liquors and maybe some tequila. They're big gin people.
A
Interesting.
big selection of gin.
A lot of different gins.
Well, I mean, they got beef eaters, which is
Yeah.
they're very. I mean, hell, do they even have beef eaters here?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have beef eaters here.
Yeah, it's the dude with the big hat, right?
The other
dude.
thing
Yes.
that I loved, restaurants, bars, the cab driver, everybody, no tipping.
Correct.
Interesting.
Correct.
Really?
Do they get offended
No
if you tip?
Couldn't tell you because I didn't tip them.
I know. I've read some places that they will. They'll get offended. They're like, yeah, we don't accept tips.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
And
Yeah, the tipping
everything,
culture is different here in the U.S. and basically the rest of the world.
everything is credit card. Even the subways, you don't even have to buy a ticket. You just tap your card on the turnstile thing that you go through to, the little
Fob reader.
It's a cashless society.
Everything is boop. Everything.
Well, that's what they want to do.
At
Yeah,
restaurants,
for sure.
at the end of the meal, the waiter will bring a handheld electric device, and they'll show you the itemization of what you had, so
Right.
you can kind of check it out. But you just beep, tap your credit, and boop, and he's like, okay, catch you later. None of this where they
What?
none of this where
I'm
they
helping with the sound effects.
where they take your credit card off to Lord knows where they take it, and
Correct.
do it all this.
Again,
and
we're
bring
behind
it
the
back.
curve here in the U.S. Although there are restaurants
Oh,
here
yeah, for sure.
starting to use this. I used to travel to Mexico and Canada, and they've had that shit for years.
The
where
way
they,
ahead
where they
of
bring
us.
it out.
Isn't that crazy
I
that
was
other
like-
countries are so far ahead of us on
In
their
that.
technology?
Yeah, they
That's
were.
sad.
They were. I'll tell you what, we're about out of time, and we need to talk about this bourbon real
We
quick.
do.
All right. Well, the bourbon Doc Swinson. Doc Swinson. It's 110.
Right?
It's 100. It's 111.6. So, Doc Swinson. It's a product. All right. The whiskey Doc Swinson is located in Washington State. Sources whiskey to finish in different barrels. So they get it from Indiana and they bring it over there.
MGP.
The bottle is part of their Alter Ego series. I think is the name of the single barrel program. Is located at Total Wine and More. They picked this particular bottle. Hold on. The taste is it's a light amber color. Does not say what it's about to say, but it says it's a 12-year. I don't know if this is 12-year. Is it?
Let me see. Can you see?
I can't. All right, look, well, I apologize. We don't have a whole lot of time to talk about this, so I'll switch over to here. The variety of aromas fill your nose, from a creamy caramel or cinnamon bread and caramelized sugar. The undertones of grilled apricots, stone fruit struggle to reach your nose. A deep throat vanilla flavor hit your tongue before the oily texture washes it away. As the oil fades, you get a fruit, sweet, tangy barrel char. So
It's 6 years.
Well,
It's 6 years.
I tell you what,
You want another pour?
I am
I'm good.
not a
I'm
fan
good.
of this.
yeah,
this is awful.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I'll give it this. Doc Swinson's apologize up front. I'm going to fly right through this from Dudes Like Us. This is Sean saying this is a 4.
100% 4. I was thinking the exact same thing.
2.
There you go.
And what's the proof on this?
111.
Turpentine and cough syrup.
I'm not going to be that harsh.
It's
I
caustic
don't
to
think
me.
I've ever gone anything lower than. I've gotten something. I'll give a 5.1. That's
No,
really
not a-
low for me.
Not a fan at all.
No, me neither.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it the first time I added some water to it. It still didn't help.
Made it worse.
Oh, you didn't fill mine up?
Oh, I wasn't.
I was busy documenting stuff.
Yeah, you gave it a 1, so I wasn't sure if you
I
wanted
gave
more.
it a 4. All right, look. Hey, it's the second half. It's November 6th, the election week, celebrating the Trump's victory. Thank you. God bless. Happy it happened. Mr. Duke, the podcast. What's his name?
Dudes Like Us.
No. Austin, my son.
Oh.
The producers know he's not here today, so no shout out to Austin. Fuck off, Austin. He's hanging out, tutoring and stuff like this. Thank you, Larry, for coming up here. Check us out on Dudes Like Us podcast for Facebook and Instagram. Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I am Jeff.
I'm Larry, and thank you guys for allowing me to sit in tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I enjoyed the hell out of it. This is awesome.
Always fun.
Always fun.